First off, I want to say thank you for the early access from Volition and Deep Silver Games. And honestly, Saints Row is probably the most fun that I've had in a game in a very, 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 very long time. Before we go into the gameplay or the story, we're going to talk about the controversy of the game being too woke.
The world is full of uninteresting people, and I'm not going to be one of them.
The woke culture in this game is so minor that you probably don't notice because they make fun of themselves for it.
Can we take a hybrid? Your carbon footprint always matters.
Just take that yellow one.
They do have a small cultural segment in the beginning of the very first mission.
Your parents should have treated you better.
Yours should have treated you worse.
Kids nowadays are raised and they're pretty soft, and back in my day I was raised hard and my parents didn't love me type of wokeness, where it's two sides of the same coin of the current generation. There's only one character in this game that talks about their sexual orientation, and all they talk about is how they've had sex with women and men, and that's it. They don't even go into detail. They just talk about, hey, I had sex with this person, I had sex with that person.
Huh. Looks like he's at the Snake Oil Saloon.
The biker bar? Oh, maybe he's back with Tattoo Mom again. I was looking for Kevin.
Yeah, man, Kevin is, shall we say, a little tied up at the moment.
Wow, I did not need that detail.
And guns and sex and Saints Row go hand in hand. So the small minority of people that aren't going to pick up the game because of this quote unquote wokeness, they're literally just going to miss out on one of the most fun games of 2022. Now, with all that out of the way, first thing we're going to kick off is with the gameplay. I played on the very easiest difficulty so I could get the game movie out the way, but it honestly felt perfect. Yeah, at some points, I'm not going to lie, the game did feel really repetitive, but I don't think boosting the difficulty would have made that situation any better. If anything, it probably would have made it worse because you do have to fight lots and lots of enemies in certain segments of this game. The difficulty is not only in gunplay but also in driving, and the driving in this game, it does take a bit to get used to because as soon as you just squeeze on the trigger even a little bit, you're accelerating at fastest pace possible, and it does break like the immersion if you're actually trying to just like enjoy the scenery and just drive around and enjoy the amazing graphics and the amazing city that they created. It's kind of hard to do that at such a high pace constantly. But overall, like the gameplay, yeah, it might be repetitive, but when it comes down to the leveling up, you'll actually get to learn new moves and get cool gadgets you can assign to your character. You can sign up to 4 different abilities, and I stuck with the same 4 abilities throughout the game. The driving could be better when it comes down to acceleration, but the drift mechanic is actually pretty awesome. It does take time to master it. The gunplay is fun, it's snappy, and it honestly surprises me on how much detail that they actually put into this game. I'm not talking just cars, but weapons as well. You can put colors on top of colors. You can put several different decals, and you can change the colors of the decal, and you can change the color of the decal secondary color, and you can change the different pieces and parts of your car, of your weapon. And it's actually amazing how much love they put into this game. These characters are just so amazing, man. I honestly can't wait for you guys to experience the game based off the story and the characters alone. And speaking of story, of course, it's Saints Row. It's a reboot. But it's probably the best way they could reboot the game. They do talk about Stillwater from time to time, but you're here in this new area and you got to make your mark. You are the Saints. Well, not at first. You're just a ragtag group of individuals that are just going around shooting at other gangs and doing whatever you want because you think you can, and that comes with consequences. You end up messing with the wrong people. But instead of trying to get good with the wrong people, you say, screw that, we're going to make our own stuff. Be our own boss. Building up the gang from scratch is the main plot point. Getting your land, figuring your way out until you end up messing with Marshall, the old paramilitary company that you used to work for, that you know can do big damage. And once you get on their bad side, woo, basically like fighting another gang. Except this gang has lasers, flying motorcycles, cloak troopers, and a whole bunch of stuff that's crazy yet themed around being a cowboy, which, being from Texas, I personally love. And when it comes down to story, that's pretty much all I'm willing to say. I do want you guys to experience this Saints Row reboot. Regardless of the fun gunplay, the fun story, in my opinion, and the great characters, we do have to talk about the flaws. And the flaws that consist of glitches. The Saints Row, they already gave me a list of notes of glitches that are in the game that they know about. And honestly, I didn't run into any of the glitches that they assigned. I literally ran into one glitch, which was a soft lock, and it happened about 4 times through my playthrough, where after attempting to do a certain animation finisher, since my character misses the punch, for some reason they just can't use their weapon. They can kick, but they can't use their weapon and they can't interact with objects, meaning you'll have to restart the entire level by not just restarting the mission, but actually exiting to the desktop and then reloading the game. There are, of course, a couple animation glitches whenever you try and do a takedown, and it sucks because a lot of these animations look really cool and really brutal, but you don't get the satisfaction of seeing them because the enemy that you grabbed is now just like sinking in the floor, or they're like 2 meters away from you and you're just like grabbing nothing, or you're doing the stab and you're missing and they're still acting like they're getting hit. But that's not my biggest gripe when it comes to this game. This game was designed for you to grind your ass off and just enjoy it, have fun, spend the money. But when the money is the main way for you to progress when it comes to side stories where there's character development, hell, some of the main stories you can't even start until you put some of the side story stuff on the map. That's my big gripe. From beginning to end, I was always having money issues when it came to this game. I'm not going to spoil what you get at the end, like the very end of the game, complete every single side mission. It will cost you $8 million. My guy, $8 million. The most I ever did, because the game is so grindy and repetitive that I didn't want to even play the game anymore. I was just sitting looking at the Cash App. Shout out Cash App. No, don't shout out Cash App. They don't pay me yet. I was literally making $740,000 an hour. $740,000 an hour, and I have to get $8 million. I literally was just sitting with the game AFK for hours because there was nothing else for me to do. There was no other side quests for me to actually enjoy because the side missions are honestly pretty repetitive and not that fun. The only thing really enjoyable in this game would be the story, the gunplay, and hopefully the co-op. Getting back to the grind, it is honestly just so bad. And the reward you get for spending $8 million, a part of me was like, that's it. But another part of me was like, this is freaking epic. Honestly, I couldn't ask for a better ending besides if they gave me New Game Plus, which they don't. So now I have to beat the game again with nothing. You just start from scratch and you do it again. And like I said, the grind is like the worst possible thing in this game. Is the gameplay good enough to cover for the grind? Probably not, because if you're not really grinding, you're not doing anything else. You're not really exploring. You can trick out your car, but then you're spending money. If you're spending money, you're not going to unlock the side hustles. If you don't unlock side hustles, you might not unlock the main story. So it all comes down to the money issue. And with all that being said, Saints Row is an amazing game, truly an amazing experience. And I am very grateful for Volition and Deep Silver for giving me an early copy. I had fun throughout the entire way. It's just the last portion I really just couldn't get through. I'm going to give Saints Row a 6.9 out of 10. Please, guys, check it out. It honestly is a great game. Don't let the score be the only determination. I'm telling you, if you buy this game, you will enjoy it. You will have fun. It's just the grind is a lot. And the glitches, they will get patched out eventually, but they aren't patched now. So I will have to just settle with this 6.9. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.
The Saints. We call ourselves the Saints.